Hey guys, King Jet here. I just did a little wee video here because Phil apparently had a very bad day yesterday in terms of income and the daily crap he made his Fable flops need some help for my final streaming day. So you can tell this is going to be a little daily crap. It's full of just sheer desperation and pig explaining about why he really needs your money, guys, for his pathetic little day off. So I've not even heard any of this yet. I've got a tip tracker prepared up here for when he does inevitably say things that I think he's going to say. So let's get started with the daily crap.
What is going on, everyone? Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Monday, the 11th of July, 2022. Well, I've been telling you guys recently, we've had a string of pretty good days. You know, fun stuff all day long, good engagement with the viewers. Everything's been great. Today, not so much. Sucks, because I like it when you're on a string of positivity, but then every once in a while you get a day that's not so good. So allow me to explain what went down today. Let
me explain first of all. He didn't get as much money today, and so the day sucked. Here is the performance for today, essentially. You can see, yes, it says today, the 11th. The 11th is this entire column, right, this entire row, sorry, right here. Fable, the debut Fable, he only earned he earned $56, but only logged it as $51. So that's 37% of his $150 gold target. And the night stream was even worse for Capcom Fighting Collection because he only earned $36 on that stream. So overall, for the whole day of streaming, he only earned $92. And for Phil, who's used to getting 3 figures a day, this is not acceptable. For Phil, this is completely unacceptable monetary income for him, and he's absolutely, that's what I'm saying, like, he is desperate now. He pushed the narrative hard. He was like, I really need money for my day off. I need to afford groceries. I need to afford cat food. I need to afford splurging out for a fancy meal with my wife because we need to eat out once a fucking week in a restaurant for some fucking reason. He actually said pretty much, well, he obviously didn't say those words exactly, but he is specifically saying he needs money to have a meal out with his wife because they must have one once a week apparently. It's fucking ridiculous. And it looks like to me, I'm not even saying this is a game's fault. I think this is the fans saying essentially, look, nah, we ain't buying it, chief. We're not buying it whatsoever. It could be the game as well, because Capcom Fighting Collection, it doesn't have the greatest track record when you're looking at it here. You know, 35% of his income, you know, of his target here, 41% here, over here on this side as well, 69% over here, and it doesn't do well usually. 43% here, and this is the worst it's ever done, I think, the Capcom Fighting Collection. So you could argue conceivably, although it has done well sometimes as well. Look at this, it had like $200 odd in this one time here, so it's been capable of doing well before for him. But this occasion, not so much.
The Level 1 podcast, as we now call it, gotta get used to that. We actually did have a good amount of topics to discuss today. There was a lot of news stories, including Cliffy B discussing what it means to be a content creator and trying to get a better name for it, which I agree with. I think content creator is way too generic of a title for people like me and the things that we do for a living.
You boring bastard. I'm going to put this to 1.5 speed. He's too slow.
And also, the possibility that Ubisoft may be deleting a bunch of games from existence if you bought them digitally and then you can't ever play them again. I know, it's kind of shocking, and I don't know if it's very legal. And also, news story about a lot of online controversy and discussion back and forth about The Last of Us 1's remake and if it's worth $70 or not, and people attacking each other on both sides for either saying yes or no. So a pretty in-depth amount of discussion and news on today's Level 1 podcast. If you missed it, check it out. Our first gameplay stream for today was actually a new game premiere. It was Fable Anniversary, but unlike the original game that released in 2014, 8 years ago, this time around I'm playing on the Xbox Series X. And I can definitely tell you, the game looks better, plays better on the Xbox Series X. Smooth, well, for the most part, smooth frame rate. There was 1 or 2 times it chopped up a little bit, but almost full 60 frames per second throughout the entirety of the game. The visuals look way too good for the game. Like, seriously, you're playing this game with simplified gameplay elements and controls, and the graphics almost look like a modern game. You're like, what happened? It's so weird to be playing with graphics that good in a game like that, you know? So, here's the deal. For those who've never played Halo Anniversary before, the whole first 2 to 2.5 hours is kind of tutorial. You're trying to learn the ropes. You get your very first combat abilities, like your melee attacks, your bow, and your magic, and you're trying to just flubbing about, doing little random mini quests here or there. You haven't really gotten to any major story yet. That's the whole first stream, all right? At first, when I started streaming it, views were great. Engagement was great. Everyone was excited. Within 2 hours of me playing it, basically we had lost half the viewership. Engagement was incredibly low. People stopped engaging with the stream anyway. And essentially what happened was I was playing it and I looked back at the stream chat. No one's tagging me. No one's talking to me. Everyone in stream chat has literally taken that discussion away from the game and is off talking about their own private conversations about themselves, their news and shit. Has nothing to do with the stream at all. So essentially I'm playing a game here, right? And trying to get, learn the ropes and, enjoy it. And I turn back and literally everyone on stream is doing something else. That's disheartening, you know? And quite frankly...
And obviously it has to be the game's fault. It can't be Phil's fault, because Phil's never a boring person to fucking observe and watch play video. It can't ever be Phil's fault, so it must be the game. That's the only possible explanation for this. It must be the game's fault for people in chat not being entertained by what the little piggy does on his stupid ass wee streams.
Frankly, it makes me wonder if this playthrough's going to work. I'm just being honest. I don't know if it's going to work. Maybe we'll do it one more time and see and go from there. But from the initial reaction, people didn't seem too blown away by it. Some people were like, oh, Halo, excuse me. Oh, Fable, this is interesting and good for my childhood. And then when that gimmick wore off, no one was even talking to me anymore. There was one point I didn't understand how to map magic. So I turned to my chat and I said, guys, I need some help. Can someone help me? Like 2 minutes passed, no one says a word about it. It's like I'm not here. I'm like, why?
Why did you just try and figure out the fucking thing yourself for once in your pathetic little fucking life? All his entire existence as a fucking video game content creator on YouTube, even when he done it before fucking live streaming, he has needed guides. It's impossible for this idiot to actually figure things out in his own stupid dented little head. He is somebody that absolutely requires to have his hand held the entire time playing a fucking video game. He admitted recently every single new release he fucking played back in the day in 2008, 2009, 2010, all that shit, he bought the strategy guide for it as well, so he could fucking fire through it as quickly as human possible. And even then, also from our observations, he was still fucking awful at the goddamn games. He was never that fucking great at the games in the first place, and yet even then, he was fucking terrible playing these fucking games. He is somebody that's incapable of fucking figuring things out for himself. This is what I'm saying. It's incredible to me, man, that he's not clocked on it. Maybe as fun as he finds video games, he fucking really hates using any brain cells to figure anything out. The hardest this guy ever thinks is excuses as to why he can think of asking for money, you know, fucking begging for money. What excuse is he going to use this time? Oh, some cat broke something in the house, we need an extra few $100 to fix it. That's the only time he uses his imagination is thinking up fucking reasons and excuses to beg for more money.
Wow, that's pathetic, quite frankly. And I don't know if it's the game, I don't know if it's just a part of the game. Keep in mind the last time that I played Halo Anniversary, I was a different kind of content creator. There was zero interaction with my live audience, okay? So it was just me playing the game for myself. Today, the whole point of me streaming is that I'm an interactive content creator. You guys are a part of this entertaining, interactive process, and the product that I'm putting out is because you guys are helping me with things, and we're having a conversation about the game or whatever, right? That's the whole idea. That's why I'm playing this game a second time. If not, I already played it once 8 years ago. Why am I replaying it in 2022? It wouldn't even make sense to be replaying this game if it's identical to the last playthrough. So I'm going to be honest, yeah, that was very disheartening for me. I thought that this was going to be a fun day where people were going to be excited for a new playthrough and rally, and instead, after halfway through the stream, people are bored. That's not good, okay? Now, what happens when people are disengaged and bored? Contributions don't happen at all either. And that's exactly what happened. We basically raised exactly $50 in tips, and then there was no other contributions. There was a good 2-hour span where not a single person contributed to the stream. You know, what can I do? I don't know. It wasn't just me.
What about super chats, Phil? What about anything like super chats? Are you going to just completely disregard super chats? I'm sure people contributed a lot of super chats. Maybe not a lot, but there's absolutely no way that people can contribute 0 super chats. It is the preferred method of contributions, for example. It means people don't dox themselves when they give you money. Don't just completely ignore super chats now, or members not shit. You're just completely bypassing them as contributions. Just because you got money later doesn't mean that people were not contributing in that way either, you fucking greedy little prick.
It was people just weren't engaged in this game at all. So, we'll talk about what's going to happen in a moment, okay? Tonight's late stream was Capcom Fighting Collection. Now, I tried to play it on Xbox. The game is completely dead. There's literally not a person playing it. Not ranked, not casual, no lobbies exist. The game is essentially dead on Xbox, and it was 40 wasted dollars for me. I can't believe that the game has 0 player base after 2 weeks. 0. So I switched over to PlayStation. There were definitely people. All night I played, although admittedly, it's frustrating for me, and here's why. You guys know my favorite fighting game is Street Fighter 2. I played it maybe 3 times tonight. It was mostly Gem Fighter with some Vampire Savior mixed in, but it was mostly Gem Fighter tonight and almost no Street Fighter 2. I don't know if this is a pattern or if it was just timing or just bad luck. The few matches of Street Fighter 2 I did play were actually good. I played some really good players who were quite good. Sadly, the connections weren't great and it was kind of skipping around a bit, but they were good matches. I even hit gold ranking in Hyper Street Fighter 2, which is pretty high ranked, but I was pretty disappointed that it wasn't consistent. I couldn't get a lot of players to play against, and mostly it was Gem Fighter. Now, yeah, not that I dislike Gem Fighter, but you get tired of playing the same thing over and over. This is supposed to be a variety stream with 3 different games in the running, and it's just Gem Fighter, Gem Fighter, Gem Fighter every fight. It gets pretty boring, okay? Contributions and support. Well, I think by the tail end of the stream, I'm pretty sure we either hit 100 likes or real close. Engagement, well, we had a good amount of people. We had between 200-300 people all night. And when people, you know, in between the matches were able to talk to me, they did. So I would say engagement was good. Support, again, almost non-existent. We raised, I think, $30 in tips, and there was 1 super chat all night. And that was it. It was as if today was the complete and polar opposite of the rest of the week up to now, where everyone was happy, engaged, liking the content, having fun with it. Today seemed to be the opposite. I don't know what happened. Like, it wasn't like there was a change in attitude. You know what I mean? Everything seems fine, and you just have a slow day. So maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's just a bad day. I don't want to write off Fable as a playthrough because I played it once, and that one time people were disengaged. It very much could be because, again, it was the intro, or I don't know, just bad timing. I don't know. So here's the deal. Originally, I was going to say, let's do a poll. Let's determine what I'm going to be playing on Tuesday, my final streaming day of the week. We're going to do Final Fantasy VII tomorrow. Final Fantasy VII has been the opposite.
Oh, there we go. He's absolutely right. He's gone back to Final Fantasy VII because this is the game that's actually been performing fairly successfully for him, as you know, for getting in money. You know, although having said that, he didn't get the complete goal. This is like one of the first times I actually think he got less than $150. So, but Final Fantasy VII, let's see. Here he got $117 for it, so he got over $100 for it playing at that time. This time he got I can obviously over $150 this time. Final Fantasy VII, and he got over $150 as well. So I'm saying this is the game is delivering for him the most money. So he just goes straight back to it. He goes, I need to go back to where the money is. I would laugh my fucking ass off if he fucking got like $50 tomorrow playing Final Fantasy. It's not going to happen. The desperation's going to get turned up to fucking max levels here, and he is going to make sure his fans give him as much money as they possibly can. He's milked them dry, essentially. Look at the amount of money he has got from these dent-heads within the last few days. Look at the day streams. This is so. Okay, these figures. So in the last 3 days before yesterday of streaming, he managed to get. And this is what the day streams, and also includes him reacting as well. I mean, a react event. But if you look at the last 3 days before yesterday, he has managed to, you know, squeeze $616 out of his fans. And that's his recorded tips. It's actually more than that. It's actually $700 because he didn't count $100 from Kevin Bernstein from his React event. Kevin Bernstein donated $100, backdating it to some previous time where he was going to do it and couldn't. So Phil didn't include it in his total. So in actuality, Phil has managed to squeeze. We'll just use the actual total. I guess I could fucking get it as well. But that's what I'm saying. $741 that fucking Phil has squeezed from his fans within the last 3 days. And typically, predictably, it's not enough. $741, not enough money. Then also the next day he gets $92 on a stream and he's like, nah, this is not. In 4 days. So keep in mind, so since his last day off, he has almost got $1,000 from his chat. Since his last day off. Now, how does that compare to how he usually does? He's pretty much kind of par for the course. He's not as if he's struggling more than usual. Some weeks he has better weeks, you can see, and some weeks he has worse weeks. It averages about $1,000 odd essentially in tips. Yeah, $1,000 odd, $1,000 odd. This one was 1,000. As I'm saying, it averages about 1,000 odd in total for the day streams. So as I'm saying, if he goes a whole streaming week and he doesn't have over 1,000, he panics. This is only in tips alone. You need to tip him over $1,000 a week, essentially. Otherwise, he fucking pushes a panic button, Begcon 0, and obviously the desperation videos are made. It's incredible to me how desperate he's acting right now, even though he's kind of on track, roughly. Because even like an average day tomorrow, if it's like $50 each stream, that's still over $1,000 for a week's worth of begging. And yet he's pushing the panic button massively.
Every time I play it, you guys are engaged, you guys are having fun, you support the streams, everything's great. Why wouldn't I want to play that again? Plus, we ended it at a cliffhanger yesterday of the story. We're literally right about to do an important part to move us forward in the plot, and I want to do that and not leave it as a cliffhanger until Thursday. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow as the main stream, okay? Then the late stream tomorrow night will be the likely conclusion of Zelda 2. There's 2 dungeons left. Each dungeon usually takes less than an hour, and the final boss is Shadow Link. Everyone knows it. The most infamously hard boss in NES history. Will I fight and beat Shadow Link last night? We're going to find out, okay? So, tomorrow is the final consecutive streaming day of the week. I hope it's exciting for you. I hope that sounds good. Now, I got a favor to ask. For those of you who are going to be here live on the streams tomorrow, if you can, please support with tips. After having a slow day today, and already I was trying to raise enough for my day off on Wednesday, now I'm actually nervous. If this happens again tomorrow, I won't have enough for my day off on Wednesday. I'll have to skimp and penny pinch again, which will be terrible. You know, I did that 2 weeks ago, and it sucks. It sucks living like this paycheck to paycheck. It does. I don't like this, all right? It's not anyone's fault. It's just support has kind of slowed down in the last couple of months on streams. Why? Because there's no new releases. So the people who would come in for the new release element aren't there. Inflation is killing everyone. I know that. It's killing me too. I used to go to the grocery store and spend a certain amount. Now I'm, no exaggeration, spending at least 50% more on a grocery run than I used to. That's not an over-exaggeration. That's truth. Like, you can look at cost to cost, what I used to spend, what I spend now. I'm buying the same shit. It's 50% more expensive, okay? So I get it. I'm certainly not sitting here and I'm not going to complain. I'm just saying, if you can tomorrow, if you're already going to come to stream and you were thinking of support, and if you could tip me tomorrow, it would be great. Those tips will go directly to my day off on Wednesday, okay? So thank you in advance. It would be great, especially to come back from today where things were very slow. I don't know why. Now, as for Fable, I don't want to give up on it yet, all right? We only just started. So my day off is Wednesday. I won't be here. I'm sure you guys will probably get caught up on all my stuff. When I come back on Thursday, I'm going to give Fable another shot as a mainstream, okay? We'll see together. Will it survive? Will it withstand? Will it be something people want to see long term? If we have exactly the same attitudes for Fable on Thursday, I might just drop it. I never promised it. It came in second in the viewer's choice poll. We may just drop it and do something else. You know, what came in third place?
Wage quit.
In the viewer's choice poll? Batman Arkham Asylum Remastered. I have not played Batman Arkham Asylum a second time. So it might be cool to go back and replay the game, the remastered version now. And, you know, that was the members' pick. So I have over 500 members on my channel that wanted to see Batman. So maybe we could start that up instead. But again, I don't want to give up on Fable. I want to give it another shot. But understand, if you like Fable and you want to see it succeed, please show up for the streams. Please engage me while I'm playing the game. You know, talk to me about the game. Help me out with the game.
Translation, give him money so he won't drop them, motherfucker. Just give him lots of fucking money. But the reason I got two of these open is because I wanted to kind of cover this. People are trying to think, I suggest that he didn't really have a build due. It seems over the weekend there. But the internet is apparently due at 12th of each month. This is a mostly piece of pieces tips tracker, and because we know that when the bills are due roughly as well, because we're using the bank lease data, we know the internet is essentially due usually around the 12th of each month, which obviously would have meant when I'm making this video it's the 12th, you know what I mean? But it might have been scheduled to come off maybe a bit sooner than that, I don't know. To me it's strange because obviously it apparently had bills due at that time, you know, around the weekend there, which was what, the 8th, 9th, 10th, not shit, you know, 11th as well, the Monday. And yet, according to this tracker, he's actually got something pretty big due in a couple of days' time, which is his mortgage. And then you've got the electricity and gas as well. So it's kind of weird that he's not freaking out about these things, even though they're coming up as well. But maybe he just kind of waits, and, you know, maybe he kind of pays it a bit later, or even back. It's one of those things he might pay off the mortgage kind of early, like as soon as maybe he's already paid off the mortgage for this month, because when YouTube paid him last month, he just used it then and there to pay it for this month, if that makes sense. And he kind of just gets it out of the way early on, so it's not going to creep up on him like, you know, 5 or 6 days before payday for him. Who knows? That's just my interpretation of that anyway. But it's just kind of weird to me how we know he's got some bills due roughly soon, unless he's changed the payment dates. Then it's quite possible he organised changing the dates of when he pays things since the bank leaks came out and all shit. But yeah, the electricity gas due on 18th apparently, and as well, and also the condo dues as well, which he claimed was one of the things that he was trying to pay off over the weekend there. So that's a bit early as well. I don't know. The only real other explanation is that Phil maybe just lying through his piggy little teeth about what the money was for, and it was for actually, you know, WWE champions or some push. Who knows?
If I need help, and please support the game. You can't be playing a game no one's paying attention to, and everyone's bored and disconnected, saying play something else. That's a bad situation, okay? So Thursday, Fable will be the main stream, and by the way, Thursday night we're going to do a one-off PlayStation Premium stream where we're going to explore PlayStation Premium and maybe even play some of those games in it that we've already gotten. For example, there's some games there, More the Monsters, there were some streamable PS3 games. I can't remember what they were, but we got them ready to go, like we're somewhere interested in. So we might do a few things Thursday night on PlayStation Plus Premium. We like re-explore it again, all right? And on Friday, we'll do more Final Fantasy VII and more Capcom Fighting Collection. The idea here is that the daytime stream should be a balance between Final Fantasy and Fable, while the night streams will be a balance between Capcom Fighting Collection and something new. Will it be something off PS Plus Premium? Will I go to Super Mario Bros. 2? Maybe we'll pick Toy Story 3. There's a million options. We'll talk about them and figure them out over the course of next week, okay? But anyway, I'm really hoping for a better day tomorrow because it is the last day before my day off, so hopefully it goes well. All right, guys? Thank you so much. I hope you all have a good night. And again, thank you to those who are chilling and support, and I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the morning for Final Fantasy VII. Peace out.
Yeah, so having to listen to this idiot talk at like faster speed is definitely more bearable, because obviously it's just it just gets through this fucking nonsense spiel that you've heard over and over again so much fucking faster. But yeah, pretty much long story short, Bill is desperate for money, immediate financial gratification, so tip him or else, basically. There's several games at risk of being dropped if he does not get tipped the satisfactory amount of money he wants. So yeah, same old crap essentially, and he is panicking, he's nervous, he's not going to be able to afford a nice meal out with his fat-ass wife on his day off. Oh no, Cat might miss a meal. I think, you know, going by the latest picture, which I think is her anyway. There's still some debate whether it actually was her in that picture, not of, you know, the car picture. Bill and fucking Cat out in the wild, but if that was Cat, then she can afford to fucking miss several meals, for Christ's sake. God damn. But yeah, as you can see here, though, as I said, the performance for Phil within the last, I'm saying it's nothing out of the ordinary for him. I mean, this is going back to May. In May, he what got 1,200 odd contributions in total. Just over 1,000. This one. That's what I'm saying. This even back in like April, May, it was as if it was like, you know, massively flat. I mean, also he's had some better weeks than others, and you can actually see here in the performance of it. You know, like this week here, for example. Look at this. We're going back to November of last year. He got less than $1,000 in tips in November of last year, and he was playing things like Marvel. What's this? What's this game? Guardians of the Galaxy and Grand Theft Auto Remastered. The remaster shit. It's just sometimes you get some good days, you know, some good weeks and some bad weeks, but he is squeezing the shit out of his fucking audience as much as humanly possible. What about this fucking week here? Barely over $1,000, and this was back in September of last year. So it's not as if there's a strange pattern of the goals not being hit. He gets less money just about, but it's not as if it's by a massive margin. Although it's only this year, really, that he started getting some really poor days where he's not even met, like, for the combined streams, he's not even getting the absolute complete fucking total. I mean, I'm looking at the right hand side here, and you can see obviously a lot more reds creeping up now and again. $62, whatever. $62 is like one of the worst, you know, days he's ever had, essentially. And it's happened to him twice within the last, you know, a month or two. Fucking playing, what was this? The John and Howard video. Oh, that's when he disabled fucking tips and all that shit or whatever. So he probably still got contributions, but we just couldn't log them. It's kind of funny, he never mentioned how poorly that done for him performance-wise. He only mentioned how poorly Cuphead done and then Castlevania. That was the only mention of his worst ever stream. But yeah, Phil panicking straight away because he didn't even get $100 combined. Just in tips, so it naturally presses panic button. But he's on course to make some alright money. Like he's on $946 right now, so even a day to, you know, fucking, if streams later on for his final day, for his day off where he gets fucking $100 odd bucks, we'll still see him earn 4 figures in tips for the fucking month. It's crazy how reliant and desperate he is, specifically in the charity of others for tipping him. Like I genuinely could not live like that personally. I can't even imagine the pressure it would put on someone to have to really demand your audience every single day. Please tip me or else I don't eat. Please tip me or else my family won't eat. Please tip me or I won't be able to afford to, you know, stay in my house. And I can't imagine the pressure that is. I mean, it's incredible. Most content creators obviously just let their work do the talking for them. They may occasionally try and ask for support or things, or, you know, if something comes up or a struggle or whatever. Most content creators, though, do not do what Phil does. He's actually planning specific fundraisers, which is again his YouTube terms of service. You can't have a fundraiser specifically tailored to fucking try and squeeze more money at people for your own gain. YouTube says for fundraisers are meant to be for, you know, fucking charity, not shit. You're not a charity, Phil. You act like a fucking charity case, but you are not a charity. You're just a greedy little pig that does not know how to live within his means. It does not know how to budget accordingly. Does not know how to downsize their own extravagant lifestyle. When you're getting $1,000 just in tips alone from your fans in a week, and it's not enough for you, then there's something wrong with your life. And I'm going to end it there. This has been Kind Jad. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out.